message to share. Um, we're getting close to wrapping up, so I want to ask the last question, which you mentioned earlier. What's the number one message you want to give to youth today from everything that we've talked about?
So it's one message, but it's three parts. And the first thing is that you need to consider what you're doing that can that can be hurting somebody else. You need
Yeah,
to think about your own, okay? Anne Frank said that if you want change to happen, you have to look within.
yeah,
So the first thing you have to do is you have to see what am I doing that might be hurting or upsetting somebody else. And when you come to the realization what that might be, I think you need to confront that person. You need to apologize. And then you need to listen to them. You need to be in their space and understand what what they're saying and why what you did was hurtful or because we tend to always just look at ourselves and go, well, they're what they're doing to me, what they're destroying in me, but we never look at what we might be doing to somebody else. And so this is called empathy. You
yeah.
have to have empathy. It is absolutely critical in this world to have empathy. And then the next thing is you have to stop self sabotaging your own life. You know, what are what are you doing? Are you looking at your flaws? Are you I'm trying to understand your mistakes, how you can be resilient and take the necessary steps to fix what you're in control of. And we're not in control of everything. We have to understand that, like things happen in life. Cancer happens, and sometimes it's through no fault, and it's not because you're a smoker or whatever else. It just happens, and you have to be able to um, look at that scenario and say, yeah, like you can say, woe was me, and then you have to say, okay, but do I want to be a victim for my whole life? Or how do I move forward? How do I move forward? So this is, I say, you can make choices. There are choices. We think we don't have any choices, but it's just a matter of sitting down and looking into yourself, being honest with yourself. Okay. And there's usually other people that can help you through that,
Oh yeah.
but don't rely so much on other people. You also have to rely on yourself because you know yourself best. So that's um, resilience. So there's empathy, there's resilience, and then you have to be resourceful. You have to
Mm.
be able to think out of the box. And some people are just born more resourceful than others, but it is a skill that can be taught. You can be taught to look at the bigger picture of things and say, okay, it didn't work this way, so what can I try next to see what will work? So the three things are empathy, resilience, and resourcefulness.
Wow. I feel like you were directly giving me some of those messages because yeah, it is interesting everything that you've shared today. I'm like deep in my own like thoughts right now. I like I'm a little all over. So pardon me if this is a little clunky, but um yeah, I think that a lot of people are really going to resonate with this. If anyone listening to this needs to resources or needs somewhere to talk, we have links to resources on our website at youthspeak.ca. They're culturally specific, so especially if you're in the Ontario area, consider checking out our website for resources. I felt like that was important to note here since we were talking about resourcefulness and everything. Um, but yes, Heather, thank you for sharing your story.
Oh my goodness. It's such it's like relieving a burden. But,
Yeah.
I really hope that this will be the start of many times when I'm able to share this story and yeah, and I feel better because I hope that people who have been bullied or bullied have been bullied or who are bullies because, like I said, usually the bully doesn't come forward because they're embarrassed or, you know, for whatever reason, or maybe they don't feel any guilt and they feel no connection to what it was that they do. But once we lose the ability to understand how we can hurt other people, then we've lost our humanity.
Hmm. Yeah. No, that's real. That is very real. And things can definitely shift in life where you might kind of dip in and out of feeling that empathy. I can say that from my own experience, just from uh, traumas and stuff. You can develop a lack of empathy from that. So, working hard to maintain that, it is something that is hard to do, and that's why I share the resources, because it's not that's might be something that where you would want to reach out for support, especially if you're young, because it's not easy to navigate on your own, let alone as a youth.
Yeah, and I just say as my line, it's hard work. It's hard work to know yourself and to forgive yourself and to forgive somebody else. It's very hard work, but you're worth it. You have to believe that you are worth it.
Yeah, took me a few years myself to forgive myself for a lot of things I've done, so I definitely can relate to that.
You're proof that you're worth it. You're proof that you can turn your life around, and it's not easy. And I'm sure you've had many challenges, and you probably will. Till the day you die, you will have challenges in life. You
Oh,
will.
I still do every
That's
day.
right. But the fact that you're here,
Hmm.
that is a major stepping stone to
Oh yeah.
progress and to, overcoming and to helping other people overcome. So you see, you are worth it. Every minute of your life has been worth it for you and for other people.
Yeah, that's why I similarly like I love what I do here with this job, because in the same ways that you were describing here, like getting that off your chest and sharing that and hoping that it helps. That's always been something I've wanted to do. Like ever since I was young, all I've known, I haven't known what I was gonna do or how I was gonna do it. I just knew I was gonna help people. That's
Yeah.
just always what I've known. So being able to take something that was so negative in my life, something that caused me a lot of pain and, in a lot of ways nearly cost me my life, uh, turning that around and finding the support and being able to share that with people is been massive. It's I hope at least it's inspired people. I know that your story is going to inspire people. It inspires me. And again, thank you for coming on this show. Um, is there anything you want to highlight, promote, social media that you're comfortable with sharing, anything like that before we wrap up?
Well, I just really want to promote people to go to the Holocaust Museum. It's
Mhm.
in Toronto. You can go on Toronto Holocaust Museum. I can send Natasha the link. If you're a student and you show ID, it doesn't cost you anything. Or there's a whole list of how you can get in if for free. Otherwise, it's $18. But trust me, it's $18 well worth your money. And the reason I'm saying this is because it shows the trajectory of hate, how it starts with a thought, turns into words, turns into actions, turns into violence, can turn into death. And some of the things that happen then are happening now. We can see this. And we need to be able to stop
Mm.
distraction. But it's also a museum um, about resilience, about survival, about hope, because the last gallery in the museum is Life in Canada, and 35,000 Jewish people came to Canada from Europe after the war and settled here, and all of them, most of them, I would say not all of them. No, I don't know all of them, but most of them that I've met, and I've met dozens and dozens and dozens, um, have made major contributions to this country and to their community. But they came here with, all their family had been murdered. They didn't have a home to go back to. They they didn't have jobs, they couldn't speak the language, and somehow, some way, they found a way to move on with their lives. And that doesn't mean that they don't have traumas and they don't have, experiences that remind them of those things. And but for the most part, most of them have been able to have a life, create a life that's powerful and positive.
Yeah.
So for no other reason, that's why you need to go to this Holocaust Museum. Yeah.
Yeah, and we will have the link to all the information regarding the Holocaust Museum in the description of the C2 video, so you can go check that out. With all that said, thank you, Heather. Thank you, TD, for partnering with us on our podcast.
If you want to hear more stories, don't forget to subscribe, comment, and like. To support more youth by youth led projects, visit us at youthspeak.ca, where you can donate and spread youth mental health awareness.
YouthSpeak Charity. Speak, inspire, change.